Today's topic is about branding. Out of sight, out of mind. Welcome to This Week at Above Digital. I'm your host, Namita Ramani, founder and CEO of Above Digital. And again, I'm with our head of performance marketing at Above Digital, Joanne D'Souza. Today's topic is about branding. Out of sight, out of mind. It actually happened this way. So I came back from my holidays, summer, went for holidays, and I came back. And I usually, after come back from holidays, I go for a little spa day, just to kind of, have a nice detox and cleanse. And just after my treatment was done, I was just relaxing in the lounge and the relaxation lounge, and there was this group of girls having a spa day out, group of friends. They were just chit-chatting with each other, and one of them, now I usually don't hear other people's conversations, but I just overheard this sentence or this phrase from one of the girls telling to her friend that, oh, babe, out of sight is out of mind. And I'm like, wow, that is so true. And there came the newsletter idea. Now, this is actually a part of our newsletters. If you've not subscribed to our newsletter, please visit abovedigital.com and subscribe to our newsletter. This is going to be going soon on Out of Sight, Out of Mind. More on what all things I discovered, and we'll also be discussing this in today's topic. So I was going back to my story. I was just thinking, wow, this is a great newsletter idea. And I came back to the office the next day and discussed with my team that, guys, this is what I heard, out of sight, out of mind. What do you think about this as a newsletter idea? And then our internal discussion about this started on how branding is so important. And we as a performance marketing agency, now we specialize in lead generation campaigns for our clients. We work with business to direct to consumer brands, and we generate leads, phone calls, bookings, and e-commerce revenue growth. So whatever we do, it's very action-based campaigns. We don't really yet pay a big importance to branding, and we as a team discussed this internally and realized that how if we add this element and request for extra budget from our clients to add this branding exercise in our marketing campaigns, it's going to affect the performance of the campaigns. Joanne, would you like to add something to this conversation we had?
Yeah, I think what happens is branding just alleviates your performance-driven campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
It gives your audience a little bit more know-how about you. It gives them some amount of recall about you. So when your performance campaigns are running, you're not reaching out to a cold audience. You're reaching out to somebody who already has heard about the brand, has heard about what services you're providing, and has some idea. Even if they don't know the exacts, they have some idea somewhere in the back of their mind which gets triggered when they see the performance campaign.
Yeah, so there's an example to this as well. So for example, have you guys noticed lately, I'm going to mention the brand, KFC's. I'm not a very big burger eater, but KFC's advertising is phenomenal these days. The way they have taken over the most important prime spots across Dubai. You have a big one on Sheikh Zayed Road. There's another one which is saying our spicy something recipe and finger licking good and all of these different. What is that? Sorry.
They have a hoarding of 11 herbs. On one side it's English and on the other side it's Arabic. So both sides you're seeing it.
And I'm seeing this KFC chicken following me everywhere. So whenever I'm a little hungry, the first thing that comes to my mind is KFC chicken. Not that I want to order that, but it actually affects my order. So the other day, I don't know where we were and we wanted to order something. I went and I ordered fried chicken. Because a KFC fried chicken was so much in my brain. So then we had this discussion as well in the office on how this branding has created top of mind recall, even though that was not something what I was looking for.
Yeah. Yes, so that's very true. So it's always there in your mind. It's something which automatically then when you're hungry, you're associating that hunger with KFC.
Yeah. So how do we bring in this element in digital campaigns? Now, KFC must be having huge budget or millions of dollars to be on every single hoarding, but the brands that we work with not necessarily will have such budgets or need such budget. So what kind of branding exercises that you can do as a small business or as a business to be on top of mind recall? Very simple stuff. You don't even need $1 million of budgets to spend. What are different things that we do for our clients nowadays? Now that we've learned that lesson, we kind of started implementing these branding. Would you like to share what we are doing?
So one of the common things which we were doing from the start is particular type of campaigns or these display type of campaigns on Google or even to some extent on Facebook. So it gives the opportunity for the brand to put out what their collaterals are in the tonality of the voice which they're looking at. So we do a lot of that activity already through discovery campaigns, through PMAX campaigns, through maybe some amount of Facebook placements, Facebook and Instagram placements over there, and we put that out. What we want to do more of is also communication campaigns and creative campaigns. So that's something which we started with one of our clients, where we made a whole tagline. We've done this for now 2 to 3 clients, where we're making a tagline for the campaign. It's still a performance-based campaign. It's still an offer-led campaign, but what we've created a special tagline. We have created a special communication, which kind of intrigues the user, kind of triggers something in the user, saying that there's a particular power attached to this tagline, and then moving forward with that. So we're not just necessarily saying offer. We're saying tagline plus offer.
Yeah, and this is actually a more holistic way of approaching digital campaigns. Wouldn't you say that, more rather than
yes.
And again, connecting this to other forms of elements of, or the pillars of marketing, whether it's your email.
It then connects. It not only talks about your creatives. It also then talks the same language in your emails. It talks the same language in your organic content, in your social content. Even simple things like a WhatsApp which is going out, it makes it easier for you to send out a WhatsApp and say, oh, you know what, I'm talking about so and so tagline. For example, to give a larger example, Yas Island right now is advertising for "Home is where the heart is" using Kevin Hart. Now that's kind of tagline which we're talking about, and that tagline is now placed across all of their communication. So you don't necessarily have to have a particular imagery, or you don't necessarily have to have a particular offer placed on all your creatives, because everyone knows the tagline, and then the tagline is what you're driving through. And then anybody who has already seen the offer earlier sees the tagline and says, oh yes, this is the same creative, I'm going for it.
How should so are you recommending that other businesses or businesses who are trying to use digital to generate to drive traffic to their website, they'll have to come up with a creative tagline? So what is the process that they should go for? They have to, the strategy element, would you be able to share some thought process behind how to come up with such a creative tagline?
I think your process is, one is, it doesn't have to be a tagline for every type of communication which you're running. You run your regular creatives, you run your sale-driven creatives, and your tagline campaigns come once maybe a quarter or once every half year, and that runs for that period of time. It runs for a longer period of time. How you go about creating a tagline is exactly the same way about how you go about creating your offer. You create your offer, you see what is valid for your consumer, and then from there you find what works for that particular consumer. If I can share an example, essentially, we have a client called Ivory Aesthetics, and she created an offer which spoke about, it's a slimming offer which spoke about 5 sessions of hypoxia, 5 sessions of Vela Shape. And because she just kept on mentioning 5 sessions, and we kept having that discussion, it's something which just came up in the team where we said, oh, it's called the power of 5.
Yeah.
And that's a tagline which comes up, and you say, oh, power of 5, and you keep talking about the power of 5.
So it kind of is now across our creatives, on our ad creatives, on our newsletters. It's all about the power of 5 now.
Yes.
Kind of connecting the power of 5 and creating that impact in the person's brain on how the power of 5 is going to affect in the results of what they want to achieve.
Yes, and the tagline is doing 3 different things for you. It's creating intrigue. Any new user who comes up and they say, oh, power 5, they want to know what power 5 is about. It's also creating recall, because it's easier to remember power of 5 versus I had to go for this particular service, this particular number of sessions, and this particular price. They're all over the place. But if you say power of 5, it's something which they recall, and then they can, and then it creates the ability to have a conversation about it. They not only with the brand, they go back to the brand and they say, oh, I saw power 5, what is it that about? So conversation with the brand. it also creates conversation in their social circles as well. Oh, you know what? I remember seeing this one particular ad. It's Power of Five. I'm I may not even be sure of the brand at that point, but it's like, oh yeah, I remember the tagline, and then somebody else goes, ah yeah, I saw that as well. It was this particular ad. So you're also building your brand. You're building brand awareness. You're building your recall in that one tagline.
Yeah. We did the same thing for another client of ours, Basiligo.
Yes.
So we have clients in various verticals. One of our clients is in meal subscription vertical, and their concept was healing through food. So combating your problems or ailments through food,
Yes.
the PCOS. That was very interesting concept as well, that we kind of merged using the tagline concept, right?
Using the tagline concept.
Yeah.
So the tagline concept is something which, yes, definitely works. It requires that amount of time to kind of put in, and you see your creatives through, and then it goes across all your communication and messaging.
Whether it's your newsletters, your blogs.
Newsletters, blogs, WhatsApps, your creative ads, all of it.
So in short, branding is very important. No matter how much we want to run just performance campaigns which are offer led, wherein you want people to click and take the offer that you're offering, we need to combine it with some brand awareness campaign to see effective results from your online marketing. I hope you enjoyed the session today. If you have any questions, please feel free to post it on whichever channel you're watching this video on, or share it with us on our email, info@aboutdigital.com. We would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you again, and see you in the next episode.